on. Break the chains, feel the surge. Rebel hearts on the
good
verge.
body kick again.
Power flows through every word. Warrior's voice will be heard. Whoa. Let's fight.
There we go. There we go. Bada bing, bada bam, bada boom. We are back. It is episode 20, and this one is special, the championship edition, because if you don't see already on our screen, we have the Bear Slayer, Edgar Skrivers himself, the first champion in karate combat ever. My man is here to bless us, give us a quick interview before he gets over to prayer. And then later we got Arturo Vergara coming, who's also the bantamweight champion of karate combat. So really big episode today. I want to first off say thank you, Edgar, for giving us your time and coming through the show. We're excited to see you fight coming up. You got a real good, exciting fight coming up. Shazib is somebody that's coming up in the game. You're somebody who's been in the game for a while. You're kind of an OG in a karate standpoint. And I think we're all excited to see you fight. How's training going and how you feeling?
Thanks for having me, that first of all. And everything is great, man. Just now here finally in Miami, getting used to the time zone, to the weather. Weather pretty much the same, almost like in Dubai, just, the time zone difference. So all is good.
All is good. All is good. Yeah. And I mentioned a bit a second ago that you're kind of like one of the OG guys, right? Your first champion. You fought majority of the guys that have held the belt, from Roca to the rest of the guys in the division. And then you have Shazib, who's somebody who's coming up in the division. He was kind of taking off some guys that weren't as well known in the karate combat circuit. And then he got to Bruno, and now he's at you. And it's kind of this shift that's going on where you're kind of seeing the newer guys come in and some of the older guys kind of start losing to them. Do you see a shift in like what's going on, and how do you feel about it?
To be honest, for me, it's not a big of a shift. I was fighting even before karate combat. I was fighting MMA, so these kind of rule sets is even better for me. I like the new rule sets when the Austin came in and changed basically all of the rule sets by adding low kicks, elbows, and knees, and increasing the time for the ground and pounds. It's even better. I think it's even better for us karate guys, for all of the fighters who are not even karate guys, and most importantly for the fans.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna pass it on to Mal.
Hey, champ, definitely appreciate you taking the time for right before prayers and everything. As you mentioned before, there is a difference, or people see the difference from quote unquote the new school to the old school. You've been around throughout it all. I wanted to really ask you your opinion of your opponent, kind of playing more to the new school side, saying that these guys can't hang with us anymore. We've added all these things and everything. I mean, how does that affect you? I know you said you've been grinding since day one, but how do you take that personally, saying, "Oh, I'm going to show you the old school is the best school," or "I've been doing this before you even thought of it"? How do you take that?
Listen, the so-called quote unquote new school is just the old school. It's just the old school. Maybe for the other guys, the new school, you need to adapt. For me, I don't need to adapt to these kind of rules. I've been doing this kind of rules since I was 5 or 6 years old. When I was fighting in my mom's backyard. So, since day one, I was like fighting, fighting without any rules, bare knuckle, you name it. So, for me, it's basically just the old school rules, the real raw rules, that kind of rules that you like need to have for karate combat.
Gotcha. I'm going to pass it on. I got to say, man, the look is coming together. You're really looking like the base layer. The persona and the look is all coming together. So you're looking good, champ. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Mac.
Always a pleasure to talk with you, Edgars. I know one thing you talked about once before is that under the old administration, you kind of felt like you had to be more conserved. You like your speech was a little bit more regulated. How do you feel with the new administration the ability to be more of yourself instead of being more of a strict karate guy?
It's perfect, Yeah, there's still karate and all of the respect and everything, but the most important thing is you can be yourself. You can be your authentic self. You don't have to hide your emotions and your words. You can just it's better for the promotion. Just be yourself. Before it was I couldn't say this or that. I said some kind of things about that I was like fighting only 20% of my capabilities, which I was just being honest. What can you do? But the other guys and whoever was there from the old guys running the show did not like it. But as I can see nowadays, you can like talk whatever you want, and the views are just skyrocketing.
How do you feel about the people that, because you said that this is still karate, how do you feel about some of the older fans that feel like this isn't karate anymore? How would you argue that this is still karate?
Maybe in their interpretation, this is not karate because they're used to, the old kata forms and everything. But when you go back and when you look the old school Japanese fights and everything, they were like a lot of them were bare knuckle first of all, and they were full contact and everything. So what can I say? If they don't like it, then don't watch it. But anyways, they're tuning in anyways.
There.
I'm pass
100%.
it over to MMA Pickers.
Hey, champ. What's your favorite thing to eat when you're back home in Latvia?
When I'm back home in Latvia, just my favorite thing is to go to all of my family, my parents, grandparents who are there, and just eat their homemade food. Like, usually I'm back there in the summertime because Dubai is crazy hot, like 55 degrees. It's crazy hot. And then I go to my home in Latvia. We have cold soup. That's the one of the our favorite traditional things to eat. But for me, being as a lightweight is the best thing that I don't need to cut a lot of weight. I can eat, be healthy, cut a little bit, and show my true potential.
You've been competing in karate combat for quite some time. You faced off against pretty much every champion they've had in the division. If obviously you have a big fight coming up. If you could have your dream fight, any fighter to ever walk the planet, in the pit, who would you like to fight against?
Well, it would be really good to fight somebody like from the old school MMA guys like TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz, or something like that. I think it would be crazy good matchups.
It's interesting because back for the OG fans that saw like the Bear Slayer era, Edgar's was so dominant that like the only question MMA media was starting to ask was, can we start seeing you fight people outside of karate combat, fight some of maybe the UFC guys, because they felt like there was no one there to beat them. So it kind of brings me to this other question. A lot of the marketing of this fight has kind of painted you as like an underdog, but due to Shazab's dominance. And a lot of the fans the newer fans see you as an underdog because they didn't really get to see that Skrivers era. So how does it feel being more in the underdog position, despite being an OG and at one time the pound for pound number one fighter in the organization?
For me, it does not matter to be an underdog. It doesn't even cross my mind, underdog or something. For me, I'm still the champ. For me, I'm still the champ of the lightweight division. I think, and I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people think that the last fight with Orochi that I won it. And if you go back and just basically count all of the kicks, punches, and takedowns, you're gonna see that I landed more punches, more kicks, more takedowns. And in my opinion, I'm still the OG. I'm still the pound for pound one of the guys in karate combat. And no wonder, they wanted to put me against Shazay because I'm the real champion.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that fight. I also agree that was kind of a controversial decision on the fight with you and Roca. It's also one of my favorite fights to watch from back then. Another fight I want to kind of talk about, ask you, is your last fight, right? One, I was highly upset about this fight. I want to let you know something. I know you're not a gambling, you don't gamble at all because your religion and stuff, but I had you on the last leg of like 4 of my parlays because I know you and I knew you were going to get the job done. Unfortunately, we had that stoppage from the doctor, and I don't think you've had a chance to really speak on that since it happened. So, can you kind of tell me like what happened in that situation there? Like, how did the cut get there? And then what was going through your mind after the stoppage? Because I seen like you were going back and forth with a team trying to figure out what was going on and like plead your case.
Yeah, I was only getting started in the fight. Almost everything was going according to the plan. I was putting pressure. He was already like starting to get tired, and somehow that you elbow, it didn't even land. It just grazed my head. To be honest, I did not feel it. It was like a little bit shocked that like where is the blood coming from, and I saw it even in my opponent's eyes as well. He was shocked as well, like what's happening? Where's the blood coming from? And yeah, it is what it is. The doctor, I don't even think she was a doctor. I think she's just was some kind of nurse. Just decided to stop the fight and
Yeah.
there were still 2 more rounds at least for us. And
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm gonna get the job done, but it is what it is. We just move forward from here.
Yeah, and I agree. We were all talking about it. We were watching the fight from back here because we didn't go to. I didn't go over to that one and do anything. So
Thailand.
we did a watch party. Yeah, we watched it here, and we were saying like he gets started in the second and third round. So it's kind of tough to watch this happen because we kind of know what kind of fighter you are, and you kind of use your first round to fill out your opponent, kind of take it easy, and in the second and third round you turn up the gas and you don't let off until the end of the fight. So that was unfortunate. I was upset, not only for my parlays, not even only for that, but just for the fact that you didn't get your due justice. Because honestly, the blood was literally, your eyebrow was perfect for it. It was going and it was going right over your eyebrow and down your face. So it didn't impede your vision at no point. So I was a little upset with the stoppage, and hopefully we don't have to see anything like that again or get a doctor like that again. I know Mal has another question before you go, and then we'll let you get up out of here.
Yeah, thanks, Champ. I wanted to ask you one thing. As you prepare for prayers and everything. Take me back to the mindset when you were 5, as you mentioned, you're fighting in your mother's backyard. Did you start fighting because everybody else was doing it? Were you told this is what you're going to do, or is it was you saw it and like, hey, I want to train, I want to be the best fighter in the world? Just kind of think of it like a young man that's kind of maybe coming up in America. He's watching his everybody on the basketball court and everything, and they put a basketball in his hand as soon as he's able to dribble. What was it like for you? Was that always the plan? I'm just going to be a fighter and there's nothing else?
Well, at that point, at the 90s and everything, we were just, I remember watching all of the martial arts movies from Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Bloodsport, you name it. All of those so-called cassettes were in my home, and basically we were watching all the time with my family. And that's what all of the other guys were watching as well. So we basically went out in the backyard. All of our elders said, you and you go in the sand and fight, and that's it. That's what we did. After that we went to the training, fought there, came back, fought again. That was just our lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's
Yeah, I
legendary.
love it.
That is legendary.
Let me send my kids over there. I need to send my kids over. Let them grow up there, come back, hard-born warriors, and then we'll be all good. But yo, Champ, we appreciate your time. I'll see you in Miami. I'll be down there for the
Well, I
fights.
think there's time for at least one more question,
Do
which
we
I
have
think everyone wants to hear, is his thoughts on his next opponent and any predictions he has. Do you have the 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Well, the opponent, undefeated, and somebody has to take his O, and I think I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna take his O. He's a good guy, without a doubt. He
Yeah.
has good skill set, everything, and sooner or later, I knew we're gonna fight, and that time is here. Just two of the best of the best, gonna fight, and it's gonna be main event in Miami. A good show. I know there's a lot of Pakistani population. Some Latvians gonna come here to support me as well. It's just gonna be a banger. You have to tune in. I cannot wait for the next Friday night.
Let's go, man. It is gonna be a bang. I believe that for sure, man. I'm excited to see you guys fight. Like I said, we'll see you down in Miami for the guys that are coming down. For the ones that aren't, we're all wishing you good luck. Healthy training camp, healthy cut if you have to cut any weight, and enjoy your prayer. We'll let you go now. Thank you for your time, brother, and
Thank you.
take it easy. Enjoy your
Take
day.
care. See you soon.
All right, brother.
See you.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
What a legend. This guy, man. Amazing. You gotta love it.
Honestly, without even winning this next fight, if he wins this next fight, it just adds to legend. He's already a future Hall of Famer.
I mean, I don't think that. I think that's without a doubt. If you're the first of anything as far as championship wise, I think that's kind of like, just like, I think you gotta know that, like, I'm going into the Hall of Fame, right? He's definitely. I'm excited for this fight. I'm also, I'm a little complacent on who's gonna win this fight. Honestly, what's today? Oh shoot. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get to talking about that in a second. But first, I got a few Karate Combat updates that I want to say. But before we get into those Karate Combat updates, speaking of Karate Combat, shout out one of our sponsors of the show, which is Karate Combat. If you don't have the Karate Combat app right now, what are you doing? We literally have a fight next week. You want to get your app downloaded, get your free 88 tokens. If you want to add more tokens, add more tokens. You'll make more money because you won't lose any money. It's simple. Vote on your fighters, select the favorite fighter you want to win. If you win a percentage. If you don't lose anything. You get your money back. We move on to the next fight. All right. So download the app right now. Get it. It's on Apple, Google, whatever you want. You can also do it on Hyperplay on your PC if that's what you want to do. But download the Karate Combat app, play. We also give away Karate Combat tokens every week. Matter of fact, I'm going to pop it back up because for this week, the code is Big20. So go to the redeem section in your Karate Combat app, put in Big20, and you can redeem. If you've been redeeming for like the last, I think, 7 weeks now, you'll at least have like almost 25,000 karate. And I don't even know how much this one is. So I'm just saying, you could be stacking up. Look at, you see my boy Mac Tyson getting that karate token. I ain't mad at him, baby. Claim it up. Somebody got to do it. All right, but shout out Karate Combat. And since we're talking about Karate Combat and how they are hooking y'all up with some free karate tokens, let's talk about some of the updates that they got going on. And I'm just going based off what I've seen on the Twitter feed and what I've heard from different people. But one of our favorite people, Loxby Montalvan, listen, y'all know I suck at names. My boy Loxby, the couch potato, well, also not known as a couch potato no more because he's hopping off the couch and whipping ass. But we still love him as a couch potato. Undefeated, been going crazy in Karate Combat. Just coming off a quick TKO victory at KC51. We'll be fighting again on KC52, and I think we're going to see a lot of that returning peoples on KC52 because it was a lot of first-round knockouts. A lot of these guys didn't suffer any injuries. A majority of the time that you have to wait to see them fight again is because they're healing off injuries. If they don't have any injuries, they can fight the next day if they want to. So, and there's some organizations where people fight 3 times a night. So fighting the next month isn't as odd as people would think it is. So Loxby Montalvan, we be fighting. I do not know his opponent as of yet. It's going to be an interesting one.
I can at least say this: one is going to be a main. Our boy finally got his main card fight, and 2 is going to be against a UFC.
Let's go. That's what I like to see. You know who I want to see him fight though, and he even said it. Gustavo Janal. I kind of want to see that. I want to see if young Gustavo can stick in there and bang with the couch potato, man. But shout out Loxby. He'll be fighting again. Anybody got anything they want to say on that other than Mal?
I got to say, man, if I was him, I would keep that couch potato because it was kind of given to you. And the thing is that it's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep this because when you lose, I want you to know
Couch
you talk to a
potato.
guy that loves to go spend his time. I'm on the couch right now, laid up like this, and I'm gonna come off and just open up here and whip ass on you, and I'm gonna go back to the couch. Look, we all love the couch for one way or another, whether it's watching Karate Combat, watching the NFL, shout out to my Commanders, or playing a little PS5, Xbox, whatever you do. So we all are part of this brotherhood. We enjoy this couch. This is a high quality couch from the Grand Hyatt in Chicago, where about now I'm throwing in all the plugs and everything, but still keep that moniker, man. Keep that moniker as the guys, the couch potato. Show up, maybe just little shoulders down and everything, and then as soon as they say round one fight, bam, on to the next one. I would keep it. I actually like that because I think it gives your opponent, like they're like, oh, couch potato. It takes them down a little
100%.
bit, So it's
I
just
love
my
that.
2
That's
cents
kind of
right
why I stuck with the Karate Combat janitor thing. It was a joke one day. I was a little in the sky somewhere in Vegas. I may have slipped and fell and ate an edible or something. And I was just like, I'm the Karate Combat janitor. Threw it up there, and then I just stuck with it. So it's hilarious. The conversation starter too. Like people like, why do you call him couch potato? So you only get to train one time a day. So he's kind of like hopping off the couch. He's kind of like that Jeremy Lin type of guy in what's the name? Now, second thing I want to get to is how you like to sled your commanders in there. So I do want to give a big shout out to the DMV, one of my second homes. My family's from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and both teams are in the playoffs. Looking beautiful. It looks like there could be a DMV bowl. That would be absolutely insane.
Oh my God.
That would be insane. I know this is an MMA show, but we
imagine?
kind of have to say that if a DMV bowl happens, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Commanders, literally Lamar Jackson versus baby Lamar, holy shit. My family would have a conundrum. You hear me? It would.
Yeah. I'll take the next 2 weeks off.
It would be over. I'm telling you right now, it would not be the same on that. What's the bridge that you go over from Virginia from DC? Yeah, it would not. The Wilson. It might be a whole civil war right at that bridge. I'm telling you right now, shit could get real.
Look, you threatening people's lives because if you die, you hope you die on the bridge because you fall in the Potomac River. It's over.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the best. Michael, you fall in the Potomac River, as soon as you get any of that water in your mouth, it's curtains. If you're Michael Phelps, I don't care. You get water in your eye, you're done. You get water in your nose, you're done. The
Potomac and the Hudson are the two worst rivers. The Hudson River, the Potomac. It's two places, or the East River too. It's the three places you just want to fall in.
Baltimore Harbor, if you want to see that.
Oh yeah. Baltimore Harbor it looks beautiful when you're on it. But if you get in that water, you might find a not so warm welcome from something. It might be anything. But shout out to DMV football teams, man. Them boys is balling. It's good to see because I'm an NFC East fan. Commanders usually aren't the best of teams, so I'm a hater of NFC East teams, but I'm also somebody who likes to see people do good after a long time of kind of like having struggles. So shout out Jaden Daniels because he balling out, bro. He doing good. I wish we would have picked him up. Joe Schoen's an idiot. His son literally told him trade up and get him. But hey, we're not gonna talk about the dumbass Giants. Let's get back to Karate Combat. Alexander, and if I try to say this name, I'm gonna fuck it up. All right, but we're just gonna pull up his thing, and you can try to say the name for your damn self because I'm not even attempting it, bro. Look at it. Come on, bro. How?
Alexander.
There we go.
K.
Alexander Krutz.
Is it?
That's what I'm gonna go with. Krutzkaka. Mac, help me here, motherfucker. Goddamn, I'm drowning. Drowning. All right, well.
I haven't researched how to pronounce it.
This kid's from Canada. Is fighting out of Canada, at least. I don't think he's from Canada with a last name like that. It seems more like Caucasus region of things. But he's got an amateur record of 2 losses, which are both in MMA because he got an armbar and a rear naked choke. So not the best of grappler, which makes kind of sense why he's in Karate Combat. He's 1-1 Muay Thai, and he has a no contest in Muay Thai. He's fighting on this production, which was called, who even knows? I can't even tell you what that is. PDP Productions. This is the kid he fought. I can't even get to the production page. They don't even have So no, that's not what I want. I want this. So this kid is gonna be debuting. Kind of reminds me of, remember, what was his name? Nico, he was like from Poland or something, Sweden or something like that. He looked kind of like him a little bit. I liked him too. They didn't bring him back after Kickback. That was weird. I've seen him fighting in another organization now. But this kid's debuting, another debutant that we have. Debutantes have not been doing that well lately, not too many debutantes are really like putting in that pain and getting themselves a contract. So want to see what this guy's going to do. Not much footage on. Like I say, he's got amateur, a little bit of kickboxing stuff. Don't even know what organization this is. Have you heard of this organization before? I think it says PDP, RDP. Yeah, I've never heard of them. All right, well,
he is from Ukraine.
There you go. Yeah, I'll tell you, it sounds like one of those up in those Eastern European places. So yeah, definitely interesting to see this kid fight. So debutant, we don't have much on him. I don't know if Mac does. Mac, you got anything on this kid other than Ukraine?
I'm still researching him.
They just announced it yesterday.
His
So
Instagram says that he's a boxing coach. So I'm guessing he has hands.
We'll see. Yeah, they just literally announced it yesterday. Like this isn't something that's like we've known for a while. This kid's pretty jacked. Holy shit!
He's going to be fighting a
UFC
veteran.
neck.
Not UFC, karate combat.
Look at that
veteran.
neck, dude. Holy shit! Let's talk about baby Mike Tyson. Look at that. That's good neck exercises, man. Let's see if we can see some of this work real quick. Not too bad. Form's great. It's a nice little kick. Focus on breathing. He's showing some shadow boxing tips. Let's see. It's a little bit in there, a little bit of Muay Thai action. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, nice little drop.
Okay.
He's breathing out real heavy after that encounter, though. You can see a real strong, like, let out of breath right here. See it? So I don't know how deep that was into the round. I don't know. Yeah, this is the guy. This is the new signing that they literally just announced yesterday. Alexander Crew. See, there we go. Crew. Alex Crew, baby. Hey, come on. This is why all the Jewish people change their fucking names. Do y'all think these people's names is what they are not? They all change their names. It's just much easier for you to say the names that they give you instead of their original names. This is why they do it. They're the smartest. They just don't say shit.
I think Crew is just a Muay Thai coach.
Is it? Fuck. Come on. I thought I was smart. God damn it. MMA Pickers let me be smart once. Fuck. God damn it. You know what? Fucking Alexander Crew. He's in this bitch. All right. Shout out this kid. It's in Karate Combat. We'll see what he can do. We'll get some more information on him. And we'll have it for the breakdown next week. We're going to do a breakdown, but only of the first four fights that we do have that are solidified on the card right now. We're going to do those. And then the rest we'll do next week because when we try to do it all in one fucking week, it's a lot. So we're going to kind of break it up this time. So
did they announce the opponent?
No, they didn't announce the opponent. But you said it was a Karate Combat vet, right?
Yeah, I might as well just say it. It's going to be Tim.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see him come back. I haven't seen him in a while. How long has it been since he's fought? It's been a little minute.
Last time he fought was in Dominican.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's been a minute because I haven't seen him fight in person. I just seen his fights, watching other people's fights. Also another crazy thing that's going on. Let's go down here to the Twitter part. Boom, not that yet. All right. Insane matchup. Prez kind of mentioned this, or somebody kind of mentioned this not too long ago. We kind of skipped over it a little bit. I was watching the episode back the other day. I was like, oh shit, we kind of just like flew over this shit. But Luis Melendez is fighting the dude that got choked out by President Awesome. And we kind of didn't touch on this, but it's official now. They are fighting KC52. This is the rematch. I think this guy Donovan is kind of pissed. His name is Donovan Manuel. Donovan Manuel. And if you don't know, he trains with House of Dragon, which is Will Esparza's team. Also, Will Esparza did reach out to me to try to get them on the show. They are traveling today, so it's tough. We was gonna have a crazy banger. I told you guys there was gonna be a lot of different interviews, but they are traveling right now, so we're possibly gonna do something with them on the side. Also, we have to do something with Shazib on Sunday. I'll talk to you guys about that later if you guys want to do it. So we got a lot of side interviews we got to do because there's so much, and people are starting to actually reach out to us to get on the show to talk about stuff. So, but back to this. Luis and Donovan are going to be fighting now. Donovan feels some type of way. The whole situation started because Luis went up and the kind of like gesture that he did was towards Donovan in the corner because he had said something to Luis, and Luis explained that on the show. That resulted in Donovan getting choked the fuck out by President Awesome and went to sleep for a little bit, woke up. He knew the error of his ways. He apologized for it the next day, right? But Luis kind of dragged it out. Luis wore a shirt for like 2 months about this shit. So I think Donovan got pissed off. He's like, fuck that. Now you got to see me with the hands, bro. Let's get in the ring and do it. And I love it. I think Karate Combat is bringing a lot of closure to situations. It's kind of like a higher level production of street beefs, right? You had the closure of the Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson fight, right? You had a closure on Luke Rockhold, what's the name fight, right? Now, this is nowhere near the magnitude of those, but it is a nice closure right here. For Karate Combat fans, for the people who watch this shit happen in Orlando, I think this is a great closure, and I think it's beautiful fan service. And shout out for Donovan. Maybe he might get his get back. It's gonna be tough because we all know Luis. That motherfucker. That motherfucker's like the Marab of Karate Combat. Just has a gas tank and just keeps going and going and going. So this is a super crazy matchup. Anybody got any thoughts on this?
Well, first, I love the fact that you referenced Street Beef. So, shout out to Street Beef, wherever the hell they filmed that.
It's like some buttfuck Virginia
I-
somewhere. Actually, it's like literally like and like it's
I should
between. I think it's
know,
like
but
between
I
like the
don't know.
Roanoke, like that country area between like Virginia Beach
Right.
and like Northern Virginia. It's somewhere in that country ass area.
That just tells me that
Yeah,
I should not be
exactly.
down there. So
Nope.
I'm gonna have to remote view that. I'm not.
Look at
Else I'll be in there.
Usually, the
fighting
only
my
people
life
that look
there.
like us. Only people that look like us are fighting. All right, I'm just saying they're usually not the spectators.
That's
They're
true.
usually imports.
Taking it back to this, I agree with you. I like the fact that they're letting this play out in the pit. I mean, everybody. There've been a couple times when viewing Karate Combat, both in person and also watching, that I was totally shocked at what happened next. The first time was one of the early the fights where I think it was fighting and the
Oh,
chair
yeah.
got thrown and everything else. And I saw it building up. It's kind of like when you see beefs happen in school and you're like,
you
they
feel
about
it
to
in the
fight.
air.
And
Yeah,
it's you can
Tangible.
feel it. You feel it in the air. And I remember I couldn't move. I was injured. I couldn't move too well. I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out the way.
This was
I
the
don't know
chair
what's going
throwing
on.
situation.
Next, you know, it just
Oh, that was awesome.
Yes,
Which
this
is
is when it
crazy.
all went down.
That was awesome, and then he became the president.
So, and then right, I was gonna say, then it was just like, what? Okay, like so. If you think of the evolution of things, it's like something like this has to happen. Now, this incident, we also talked to Will about it, and he described in detail like what had happened from Ground Zero and everything else. And now you're letting these two guys kind of settle it in the pit because it was some words said. You entered the pit. Shout out to the cameraman who got that because at the end you're really focusing on the fighter that won, and everything else. But they panned in and you see like, I'm like, is this guy walking in the pit? What's going on? He was pointing at him, and then all of a sudden you see, Perez come up behind him, he chokes him out. Where else do you see that? Usually that guy is banned from the organization. Never,
Yeah.
we don't want you to come. Don't darken our doors forever again. But they're saying, you know what? Come on in and fight. You guys go ahead and settle. I think that's legit, especially in terms of that would have been the end of the story then. But now you have this other chapter, and you could really put it the rest. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another piece. What may happen on Friday? You may even have an extended version.
Well, what I
Depending
like
on what
about Karate Combat is I think they believe in second chances. I think they believe in also what you deal with, like some of the most savage, and I don't mean savage in a way of savage just to random people. No, savage to their opponents, savage to people that they have to compete against, savage to their craft and their sport only. The most savage people in the world, right, are all in one place at one time, and they all have this sense of pride that they've built over beating all of these people and doing all of this stuff and accomplishing all of these great things, because like belts are crazy to accomplish. You get a black belt, that's something insane. You know what I mean? Years it takes and practice and going through stuff to do that. So you get all of these people in one place, and I think they understand that sometimes shit's gonna go out of whack, right? And I think they also notice that like sometimes one situation doesn't determine how the person is for the rest of the time. And like they gave President Awesome a job after that situation where they had that whole shit go happen and he went viral, right? With the whole fight. And I was one of his fighters. Same thing with Donovan. Let him come back. And Awesome was like he wasn't banned and stuff from the beginning. Like it was never an issue. It was just like, we're cool. Like before Donovan even did any apologies, Prez was like, it's cool. He's not banned. He can come back. Like it's fine. Shit gets out of whack sometimes. We had to shut it down before it got worse, and it is what it is. Let's move on, and everybody's cool with it. So shout out Karate Combat. I think UFC too, they do a really good job of just like understanding these fighters are fighters. Sometimes they're gonna do fuck shit. It is what it is. Like, let them live. Like, people make mistakes. Everybody's human here, bro. Let's remember that part. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. We're all human. The moment we stop
100%.
making mistakes, or y'all stop making mistakes, get the fuck away from me, because y'all not human no more. All right. So go ahead, some over there, alien ass, get the fuck away from me, because you're not human. Humans gonna make mistakes, right? And I think if you're remorseful for them, I think people should give you that kind of grace and move forward, right? So shout out Karate Combat for doing that. One last thing, and I want to hear from you pickers on this one. You've been a little quiet down there right now, and I know you got something to say about this, but we talked a little bit about it. Mac had mentioned it, I think, last week, right? But Shazam has been working with Richie Savage Lewis. All right. Now, Richie also will be debuting in Pit Submission, which is super dope. Now, the reason Shazib is doing this is, if you guys were just watching Edgar Skrivers there talk about how he's been in MMA his whole life, that man knows how to wrestle. He knows how to grapple. He knows clinch situations. He knows how to do a lot of different stuff that a lot of the other karate guys doesn't do. And that's why he said the rule set doesn't really affect him much. Now, Shazib's a trainer with Richie because Richie's a champ. Richie's really good at his craft and what he does. So he's utilizing his friendship with Richie to learn some things from wrestling and grappling and stuff to basically defend what Edgar Skrivers can do. What's your take on this, MMA pickers? And I know you know a little bit more about Richie Savage than I do. So what's your take on this? And do you think this is something that could lead to success?
Absolutely, and aside from working with Richie Savage, it's something that I actually got the chance to discuss with a couple of the other athletes from the Goat Shed at the last KC event. But they really have a phenomenal jiu-jitsu program over there. They've produced some excellent jiu-jitsu athletes in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Robertson has the most submissions in her division. Aline Perez is now on the way
came
up.
off one.
4-0,
Yep.
just came off a beautiful first-round submission, I think it was.
Montez and the Conda submission to get into the UFC.
On Dana White Contender Series against another guy who had a very good grappling pedigree. And I think even in his last fight, as we watched, especially during the points of adversity in the first round, where he did end up on his back a few times, he did some very crafty things to get back up to his feet. He used some pretty advanced jiu-jitsu sweeps that involved him hooking his opponent's ankle and pushing off the hip. And I really liked what I saw from him. Working with a wrestler of this caliber, especially going against somebody with the pedigree of Edgar Skrivers, can only benefit him, especially as the taller fighter. It's going to leave a lot of windows open for Edgar Skrivers to wrestle. And, it is things like that do take a long time to implement into your game plan and to really embed the things that you learn to be able to use them in practice. But it can only help.
Yeah, 100%. And to reiterate on the Ghost Shed and their training regimen, everybody does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Ghost Shed. It doesn't matter what league you're in. You do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You do BJJ. I don't think you could come in and just do because Extreme Couture, you have other places where you could come in Extreme Couture, you could do Bang Muay Thai, you could do MMA, you could just do BJJ, you could just pick a class you want to do. I'm pretty positive Ghost Shed is a program where you just come in and you do the Goat Shed fucking program. And that's just how it goes. Now, they do have separate entities where Dean will probably be working with Jillian and the rest of the UFC girls separate or something like that. But the last time I went down there, Aileen was in there working with Arturo, Shazib, all of them. And they were rolling, striking, hitting the bags, hitting the pads. They're doing it all together. It didn't matter what they were in. You had 3 karate combat guys, CFC guys, UFC guys, right? So that whole regimen there and what President is doing, which he's been a phenomenal coach, and it just shows by his record. You could take my word for it or not. You could say you could say whatever you want and hate on him, but the record speaks for it fucking self. You can't argue with numbers. What they say, people lie, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. You know what I'm saying? The record is beyond positive. It's up there, right? So, with that being said, I think it creates them to be very well-rounded fighters. And what I also want to say is I love it because Skrivers is going to be the first one to really test him in those waters. And this shows us if Shazib is really the champ that we think he is. I think he's capable of doing it. He has to show the world this, though, right? He has to show the rest of the fan base. He has to show the Karate Combat president and the rest of them. Well, Prez probably thinks he already knows because he's around them all the time. But the founders and the rest of them, you got to show to them. You know what I mean? To Leo, to the matchmakers, to all these guys that you really have what it takes to take out the best of the best because Skrivers is the best of the best. I don't care what you want to say. Look at those 2 losses, all you fucking want on his profile. Go ahead. Sleep on that man if you want to. I'm telling you right now, if Buddy got to get to the second round, that other man was at a rude awakening in Thailand. I'm telling you right now, this man is no joke. He wasn't a first champ for no reason. He didn't beat majority of the champs for no reason. He didn't fight the best of the best for no reason. TWV was a demon in this division, and he went up with her. He went up with everybody. So you have to you have to take that into account. But this is Shazam's another test. Bruno was the first trial, and that was like a down here trial. Skrivers is here. You know what I mean? To be honest, and nothing against Roca. I love Roca. Luis is my guy. I think Skrivers is a better fighter than Luis. I think all around, I think Skrivers is the guy that Shazam needs to beat to say that he is the best of that division, in my opinion.
No.
But Mac, I would love to hear what you got to say.
Let's. I got like this is going to for Shazam. This is going to answer a lot of questions if we see a vintage Skrivers. Like, because I can very well see like Shazam going in there, maybe knocking Skrivers out in the first round. That's a possibility, and that would be the saddest way for this fight to go because it doesn't answer anything.
It doesn't. What we need.
But if this goes multiple rounds, if this goes like 5 rounds, if Skrivers is able to check Shazam's grappling, if Skrivers is able to put that pressure on Shazam, but the type of pressure that he hasn't really ever gotten in the pit, that will answer a lot
100%.
of questions. But I don't know. I don't like Luis is still the undisputed.
He is.
Well, not undisputed. He's still the lightweight
champ. Agreed.
Yeah. And not only that, he's also the super fight trophy winner against the welterweight champion Josh Quayhagen. He has real knockout power. He's one of the best blitz fighters, something that has shown vulnerability against Shazam. So he's just a bad stylistic matchup for Shazam. So, and he's also a future Hall of Famer too. Like, yes, he's had some losses. Yeah, he went down to bantamweight and tried to test himself and got knocked out. But but lightweight has been his division. He has always shown that he has improved. He is that next generation of those Pitbull fighters, and he is building a legacy worthy of the Pitbull name. So while this is the next challenge for Shazam, I wouldn't say that it's less than Luis. If anything, it's equal.
In my opinion, I feel like he's the better fighter over Luis. If you had to ask me who was the better fighter, I would say Skrivers. That's just my opinion. And in the last fight, I feel like he won. I agree exactly with what he said. He had more strikes. He had more forward pressure. He had a lot more in that fight. And to be honest, I agree with you on everything you said about Luis, but also we're talking about him coming off a loss, which is always tough for somebody, coming off having a baby, which sometimes can work in great ways and sometimes cannot, right? Like, you're not sleeping as well. You're not doing the things that you're normally able to do because you have this child now. Your whole regimen is thrown off. These are people that are animals of, not animals of, they're creatures of routine, creatures of habit, right? They're creatures of doing stuff there that could throw you off. So there's a lot of variables in it that I feel like maybe, yes, a year and a half ago, I may have said Luis. But now, I don't know. And I haven't seen Luis fight in a while. Like, the last time we seen him fight was against TWV, and TWV picked him apart, right? It looked like he couldn't get his stuff together. It looked like he just couldn't keep up with his hand speed and stuff like that. And Shazam's fast. Like, Shazam's fast. So, like, yes, I agree. The blitz is something Shazam has to worry about because that's how he got dropped in MMA. That's how he got dropped in this. Bruno rushed him, caught him one good time, and it dropped him. And to be honest, I love Shazam, but he's get tapped on that chin. He gets a little wobbly. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the strongest of chins. Now, it doesn't put him out, but you can see the adverse effects of the hits, right? So nothing against Luis Roca. Like I said, he is definitely a Hall of Famer. We're talking about Hall of Famer here, guys. It's not like I'm talking about a contender versus a Hall of Famer. No, these guys are arguably right now could be either one or two of that division, however you want to take it, depending on your opinions and how you feel about situations, right? Never saying that either one is supremely higher than the other. I just feel like, in my opinion, Skrivers is the better fighter all around in the new rule set. If it was a year and a half ago with the old rule set, 100% agree, Luis.
Well, I mean, Luis was undefeated in MMA, and
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Bellator.
100%. I'm not disagreeing there neither. Not disagreeing there neither. But also, Skrivers comes from MMA as well. But we won't dwell.
Yeah, he was one of the most experienced
Yeah.
MMA fighters to fight from the first
Yeah.
season.
So I mean, to each his own. It's kind of more opinion based. Just throwing my little hot take out there. Start up some drama on the show. You know what I mean? It's all good. I gotta mess with Mac a little
No,
bit.
it was a good back and
I
forth we
know.
had. We had
The
a
thing
good
with
back
Mac
and
and me is Mac is if y'all haven't noticed yet, the dynamic is Mac is a super OG karate guy. And he loves the OG guys. And I'm a big fan of the newer guys. Also a big fan of the older guys. But you can tell where we both lean when we start talking about their matchups. And it's lovely.
Yeah,
I
because
love it.
and like me, I'm also a fan of the newer guys. I'm a fan of martial
Yeah.
arts in general, but I've been here since season one. Since as a fan since season one, been working since the first live event.
Yeah.
So I've seen the entire evolution.
Wow.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm weak. Hey, also speaking of getting fine, are you good? Are you straight or do you have to go?
I got I think I got 15 more minutes. I'm keeping watch on my phone. Sorry, it's
All right,
cross
cool.
culture,
All
this,
good.
that, and the other. But
Well, before we swap to UFC, I want to give a shout out to Brave Browser. If you value privacy, if you value people not on your stuff, getting these stupid ads, you also like getting, rewarded for looking at friendly ads and stuff like that, right? And you don't like ads on YouTube, you got to download the Brave Browser. That's all I use on all my, I swear, I have 3 devices right here. They all have Brave Browser on it. I promise you. Strike me down right now if I'm lying. No, I'm just playing. Listen, so but use Brave Browser. It's amazing. They block ads on YouTube. They block a lot of the unwanted ads, like especially if you got to go to like shifty sites. I know some of us, we like to go to weird sites sometimes. It blocks a lot of the ads. It doesn't track you. It doesn't do all of the weird stuff. So guys, download Brave Browser now. It's really dope. They help us with the show. They send out push notifications to their community so that people can find the best MMA show that happens every Friday at 12 p.m. And that is the Warrior's Voice. But speaking of MMA, let's jump into UFC. Listen, it's a few UFC things that happen. We're gonna talk about this real quick, and then we're gonna hop into MMA's picks, MMA pickers picks of the week. And he's got a new segment for y'all, which is dope. I can't wait to hear this one. I don't know if you're launching it today or did I just?
Oh yeah, no, I got it ready to go.
Let's go. All right. So yeah, he's got something new for y'all. But before we let Mal leave, I want to talk about some funny stuff. And something serious. The first thing I want to talk about is serious. Chris Curtis stoppage thoughts. All right. So now, if you guys watch UFC Vegas 101, he had a fight with Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. We talked about the fight on the show. It was a really good fight, to be honest. In my opinion, Chris Curtis was winning the fight. I know you hate me. It's okay. Chris Curtis was winning the fight up until that point. He was doing well. All right. But I say this, regardless of how y'all feel about who was winning the fight up until that point, I feel like with 1 second left on the fucking clock, you allow that man to finish his fight. Chris Curtis is a veteran. He's been in the game a long time. He's fought a lot of times. He's been around. He's somebody who knows when it's time to give up. He's somebody who's not going to sit there. It's a lot of guys that will just go out. They'll let people just kill him, like do whatever, right? He's one of those guys that understands, and he's going to make sure. So for them to stop the fight with 1 second left, when he literally went the entire time, was absolutely insane. It was a lot of back and forth in that fight, and I feel like they should have left it up for the judges, right? Like, I have my opinion on how I felt, right? Doesn't mean it's right, but the judges are the more verified opinion, and I think at that point when it's so deep into the fight and there's that little time left, the judge should have took a quick second just to look up at the clock, and if he looked up at the clock, it would have gave him enough time to let the fight finish, right? So that's just my opinion. Now, other people have different opinions, medical shit. I don't know anything about that. I'm not a fucking doctor. I speak into a microphone for a living. That's what I do. So sometimes my opinions are completely ass compared to others when it comes to shit like this. So I don't believe they should have stopped the fight. I would love to hear what you pickers. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. I know you think Kopylov was winning. I feel like it was close. A lot of people feel like it was a lot out there, but I feel like Chris was getting some shit in too. Go ahead.
First off, clear 29-28 Kopylov. Without like any doubt, I'm pretty sure everybody who was watching that fight except for you had a 29-28 Kopylov. I do
Okay, I
agree.
may have extreme couture bias. All right, gosh,
I love Extreme Couture and I love Chris Curtis.
I do
And I
too.
told you I couldn't bet on that fight beforehand because I love Chris Curtis. But I also told you the most likely outcome was a Kopylov decision.
I didn't bet on a fight either. I did not bet on a fight either.
But that being said, Kopylov dominated round 1 and 3 and probably lost round 2. Not
Yeah.
by a lot, but probably decisively lost round 2. Yes, I do agree with you about the stoppage. I don't agree that the ref should ever be looking at the clock. I think the only criteria the ref should ever be worried about is the fighter in more danger than they need to be, and are they taking unnecessary damage? Nothing else matters.
Yeah, but the only reason I said the clock, I don't want to cut you, was 1, you've already heard the collapse. 2, Chris fell and Kopylov wasn't even near him.
So that was my next point. Chris fell
Yeah.
and Kopylov wasn't even near him. Kopylov didn't follow up that shot at all. He started walking in the other direction. For that reason, I believe it was a bad stoppage. I think there was no impending danger to Curtis. The ref could have at least, noticed Kopylov walking the other direction, even if there's not 1 second left on the clock. And like you said, the clap. But that being said, I understand why the ref felt that Curtis was in danger.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the last second there, nothing's going to happen. So we should.
Did his head hit?
Decision.
Did his head hit? That's something I didn't pay attention to.
The
That
ground?
might have been why I stopped it. Yeah, because sometimes if they bounce, sometimes they stop it immediately for that.
But he didn't even stop it until he got back up, and he almost
Yeah, because he was kind of getting up, like he was kind of sitting up already, and he's like, "Nah, chill, it's
No,
over,
he
it's
seemed
over."
with it and aware. I mean, Chris Curtis is pretty freaking durable. It's not like he took a ton of. He took
He
a ton of
spars with
damage
Sean
in the sense that
Strickland,
he got
bruh.
hit a lot. Yeah, well,
Who does not know how to soft spar at all whatsoever? Never had a.
I don't even ever really remember.
Unless he's sparring Pereira.
Yeah, well,
No, he hard sparred him too. He don't care, bro. He
Are
does
you
not
sure?
give a fuck.
I'm pretty sure he saw
No,
sparring Pereira.
no. Pereira don't soft spar neither. Have you seen him spar people?
I've seen technical sparring.
Shit, maybe it's some guy he knew he could beat the shit out of. But anybody close to his weight class,
that
Pereira
sounds
puts in
like
pain.
everybody though. To be fair, if you're just talking about striking.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, just bad stoppage. But you're completely off your rocker for saying that Chris Curtis was winning that.
okay, I love you too, brother. But listen, I feel like Chris Curtis had a great second round and had a good argument for the beginning of the third round. And that's where I'm gonna say Kopylov definitely stepped it up in that last few minutes. He definitely the last half of that round was all Kopylov's. I think you have an argument with Chris Curtis in the first round. I would go back and look at it, but the UFC are very strict on the way they like to copyright things. So we love you guys, and we love that we are on UFC Fight Pass, and we don't want any issues. So we're not gonna play it. But if you want to, go watch it back. We got UFC Fight Pass. Go watch it back. If you pirated it online, that's not none of my business.
I think Kopylov broke his own striking record that fight too.
Yeah.
Volume.
That motherfucker's a beast, dude. All right. One more thing before we let Mal leave. This shit was absolutely hilarious. I guess we go from serious to funny because this was fucking hilarious. I don't know if you guys seen it, but your boy Habib Nurmagomedov, the GOAT of MMA, aka the GOAT of getting kicked off of Frontier Airlines, which,
Why is he
like
on
Dana
Frontier?
said,
Bro.
why the fuck are you on Frontier, Habib?
Honestly, I loved Dana White's reaction because that was my
Yo, what
initial
the fuck are
reaction
you doing?
too.
I didn't even know it was Frontier. Mind you, I seen the video when it first came out, right? So I didn't even know it was Frontier. When they said it was Frontier, when he said it, like Dana was like, why the fuck was he on Frontier? I was like, yeah, what the fuck was he? Like, you could have bought American, United, any of the other cheaper options that's not like Delta or like the top dogs. You could have flew any of those. Bro, why the fuck were you on that? And two, the man literally has done like 30 press conferences for the UFC. You think he can't communicate with you enough to get motherfuckers off the plane? And like, I forgot somebody else said it. They was like, if you want anybody right there, it's him.
Get this
It's
man.
him.
Get this man. Please.
If you want anybody to be able to get out of their seat quickly and subdue somebody, it's him. You want him. This man.
This is the last thing you would have to worry about with him on there. When I saw this and going exactly what Dana said, like, why was he even flying that? Now, I actually kind of took a different take. I want to see Khabib flying on Spirit next week.
Oh, they're
because
bankrupt. They're
I believe
done.
this is
They're
going to be a
They're
whole
bankrupt.
series right here. Can
Fuck
we bring
that.
him back
Nah,
just for
hell
that?
no.
Because first of all, somebody at Spirit would try to square up with him, and then just imagine the
my
content we're gonna
God.
get after that. But I mean, come on, that's the angle
Yeah.
I'm taking right there. But also, I gotta give Khabib credit, man. First of all, the man is as humble as you become, and to be insulted, to be absolutely asked to be removed from this plane, he could have handled it 15 different ways, and we'd have been like, he is you insulted him. He, understandably why he handled this, but he got up, he handled himself correctly. He got on out of there. He didn't make
Yeah.
a bigger incident. I hate that this happened to him. But I'm also still low key hoping that Spirit does come back just so he can fly next
That would
week.
be
I'd love
fucking
to see that
hilarious.
as an agent of
Hilarious.
chaos.
The only good follow up to this would be like a news article that Khabib chokes out someone that attacked him at 3 a.m. at Waffle House.
Hilarious.
Hey,
Where was he
Hey.
at too? Was he in like LA? I don't think his Waffle House is in LA. I think he was in LA when it happened. He was leaving 311.
Hey, if you're looking for a good fight, that's the place to go.
Oh, for sure. A Waffle House, definitely.
Hey,
I'm
that's
trying
true.
to tell you, Leo, we might need to just travel. Leo Gomez, we might just need to travel to the US and go to these Waffle House. We might be able to find some karate combat fighters. I've seen some motherfuckers throw kicks over Waffle House counters and shit.
I think we need to follow the Tekken community, because the Tekken community has been asking for Tekken to have a Waffle House stage. I
Waffle
think
House
we should
stage?
follow that lead and have a karate combat event in the Waffle House.
At a Waffle
Yo,
House.
LARPing, listen,
I'm
I
down.
promise you,
I'm
LARPing,
down.
I swear to, I have one of the best stage designers ever. He literally does all of the hip hop museum displays. Anybody's, Nicki Minaj's, all of the big people. I promise you he will come do this shit. He will make a big ass Waffle House out of any spot we got. Let's make it happen. I swear to, oh my,
Karate
I
combat
swear to
kickback Waffle House.
Jesus. They do that. Oh my God, I would lose my mind. I literally would show up to work in the outfit.
Crazy.
We all have to wear the outfits. Boss and them have to wear the outfits. I'm wearing the outfits. Robin can be
Yes.
like a manager. You have President Awesome as like the supervisor. Bro, I'm trying. Listen, let me shut up. They gonna steal. No, hold on.
You got
They
you
gonna
got to
steal
get
our.
the
They
young
gonna steal
lady.
our idea. Shh, shh. Scrub this whole episode. Scrub this. Scrub this. We'll talk later. We'll talk later,
Put
guys.
it in the vault.
But yeah, just from now on, just know the Warriors voice cast will only fly Frontier if I'm booking flights.
It's actually funny is the very first airline I flew with Karate Combat was
That's
Frontier.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, later on they sent me like on Delta and
Okay.
American Airlines and all that. But the very first one, maybe it was the
Yeah.
worker. It was Karate Combat's version of the
I
movie.
I'll tell you this. I'm bougie. They've always flown me Delta, but I'm gonna tell you this why they almost flown me Delta. I fly myself Delta. I don't play that shit. I do not like when people be like, "Oh, I'm flying Frontier Spirit." Fuck you, buddy. I'm not doing that shit. Good luck.
Good
I
luck.
see motherfuckers sitting there talking about I've been here 72 hours. Spirit ain't got us a new plane yet. It sounds bad, buddy. I just got here 15 minutes ago. I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm getting on the plane. I don't know what to tell you. So I've always done Delta, like always. The only other one I loved was JetBlue. JetBlue was my shit because I lived in New York. No, but listen, I'm from New York and I lived in Carolina. JetBlue had a flight from RDU to JFK for like $80, and it was good leg room. It wasn't bad. Like the thing with Spirit and Frontier is they don't pay their people enough, and they just hire any fucking body. And they mass hire motherfuckers, so they have the worst stewardess. They have like some, and I'm not saying all of them. Like overall, if you do like an average of how many good ones to bad ones in all of the airlines, they would lose substantially because they don't get to vet enough. They just hire. But more or less, I always told them how to fly Delta. But I always tell people like, look, I buy Delta too. Like I will show you. I have miles. I got my own fucking miles. I've always flown Delta. So sometimes people try to fly me like United American. I'll take that, whatever. But majority of the time, like you gotta fly me Delta because I fly myself Delta. So it's not like I'm being bougie for you as your pockets. I be bougie for my damn self. I like those little peanuts and shit. I like the people come by and be nice to me. You know what I'm saying? Delta, I ain't gonna lie, Delta has some of the nicest stewardess ever. And anytime I've had an issue with Delta flying somewhere, I've always got it handled and never had an issue or a hassle like United when I got back from Dubai and I had to wait in New Jersey for 9 hours because they missed our flight because they wanted to go all around Egypt and they want to act like it was our fault. Yep, fuck you, United. Y'all some bitches. Anyways,
JetBlue is also wonderful.
yes,
stewardess.
JetBlue is beautiful. That's why I've said they have really great teams. They have really good pilots. Like I love it. I've never had a flight that was late.
Like if you're flying to Puerto Rico, I'm flying.
Oh yeah,
JetBlue all
100%. Anywhere out of the north, you fly JetBlue. It's just JetBlue doesn't come here anymore. They took the terminal out, so it's like it sucks for me because that was my cheap flights to New York, and that's why I don't go as much anymore. Because now it's like flying to Cali. So weird shit. I think that's it for UFC. Oh, I did have this. I seen a few people talking about Arman was going to be Islam, which was like this hot take and kind of like, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't really bring it up. But I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, yo, Arman, man, you guys are kind of sleeping on Arman, you know.
Stupid picture.
Yeah. And then
Everyone
that
saw that picture. They're like, oh,
you should have just talked to Pickers. It's absolutely photoshopped. He told us this, guys. He looks great, but not that great.
I said touched up.
Touched up. There you go. Touched up.
Did they have to? Did they move the fight? Because I know the
Yeah,
talk
it's
of
in
it because of
Inglewood. I
fires.
think it was supposed to be in Anaheim, and now it's in Inglewood. But still in LA.
Word.
Are they
I
fighting?
thought it was.
They fighting on the streets in Inglewood, or just is it actually an arena? I mean, because in Inglewood you could just put them dudes in the streets.
Yeah.
And
Oh
just,
yeah,
you
no,
know,
I grew up in North
you know,
Hollywood. I know what it's
just-
like over there.
Yeah. Call Kendrick. Call up Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, Dr. Dre, all of them up. We Gucci. We chilling.
UFC
Ain't-
311.
Do you think Merab can pull it off?
Yo, that's a good one. You know what? I absolutely do feel like he could pull it off. And you know what? I think, and honestly, I was looking at Marab for decision. Looks really good. Paired up with Aileen Perez by submission. Looks really good together. I don't know what MMA Pickers feels about that. But listen, I feel like Marab might be the motherfucker to upset the UFC's unbroken record of Khabib's team because I think they lost in like Bellator or one of the other ones, right? But they haven't lost in UFC, right?
No, they've lost in UFC.
Who
Islam
lost in
has
UFC? Islam. Islam was the only one. Who,
I mean, some of the other teammates have losses too.
yeah, but not the big three. Like the big guys haven't lost in a while in UFC. And I think
Umar and Islam, they have one.
Yeah.
loss.
Marab, I think, is the person that could give them that second loss in the UFC. And the only reason I'm gonna tell you is I feel like the wrestling is gonna get nulled. I think it's gonna be a lot of reversals, a lot of just hand fighting, a lot of just smart, strategic jujitsu when they get to the ground and wrestling.
Jorgens are good grapplers.
Yeah, like both of them are. That whole
Yeah,
area.
Marab specifically is a great grappler.
Marab is one of the best grapplers in
People
that
are definitely
division.
sleeping on Marab. I think he's won 12 in a row now. I do think Umar is going to win, but I think the betting lines and the general predictions are crazy. Like people think,
Yeah,
Umar's
it's
gonna
insane.
win.
Honestly, I think just for the betting lines, if it's crazy for Merab, even if you think that, Merab is going to lose, I feel like it might be worth putting maybe something
hedge.
on Merab.
Yeah.
As
There's a lot of good ways to hedge Marab. I'll get more into it later, but a really good bet on Marab right now is he's a plus 350 to win by decision. And out of his last 11 wins, 10 of them
what
are
I had.
by decision.
10 of them decision, yeah. And that's what I had.
Also on this card is Yuri, and I really want to see him in karate combat one day.
Honestly, that's where the fuck he should be because the man, that's where he needs to be because the man don't train like any other fucking MMA motherfucker. He just random ass picture, random ass video of Yuri punching a tree. Random ass video of Yuri going up the mountain of water. Like fucking go to a gym.
Here's the funny thing.
Shit.
Yuri is training karate, but like he's not like training, like with like Mano Santana or the Machitas, karate specialists that specialize in MMA. He's training in like traditional Shotokan and traditional Kyokushin. He's not even specifically focusing in one. He's doing both. He's like a green belt in Shotokan and a yellow belt in Kyokushin.
Fuck. This man he need a coach. That's what the fuck he need. He need a coach. He need to go to a real
Give some
fucking gym.
direction.
Come to America for a little bit, Yuri. I know you think we weird. I know you be thinking people be doing all this other shit and you like protecting your energy and zen and shit. Motherfucker, go live in Wyoming. It's nobody fucking out there. But come out here and go to a real fucking gym, bro. This shit is killing me. I love Yuri. One of my favorites. Love the guy. Great guy.
Imagine Yuri with Cejudo's team.
Imagine Yuri just going to Extreme for a half a year, Syndicate half a year, down American Top Team half a year. Any of these teams where he can brawl out and spar with these motherfuckers that's his size and really get in there and get shaken, because punching the fucking tree, the tree ain't gonna grab you back. The tree ain't punching back. Ain't none of that shit happening. You need actual, and this is why Owen had such a hard time against some of the guys who've done MMA their whole life, is because he never sparred in his training. He never did those things. So when he came against guys like Eric,
available to him is boxing.
He came against guys like Eric. He went against guys like Macaco Flo. It's a little different because those guys have done that. You know what I'm saying? So more or less, Yuri, get in the fucking gym. Jesus Christ, dude. You're in the fucking UFC. Get in the fucking gym. They have gyms all around the world, all types of shit. Stop fucking training in your backyard, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's beating everybody except for Pereira. Don't go too hard on him.
I mean,
and like if he wants to do it unorthodox, but at least and train like an unorthodox art, you can do that. But at least do it MMA focused. Go down and train with Mano Santana or train at the Machida.
Guys, he's pretty MMA focused. Let's not forget he choked out Glover Teixeira.
No, 100%. And I agree. Yeah. I do that. But this is what I'm saying though, bro. It's just like it's just so weird. Like, just get in the fucking gym, bro.
It's working.
It's not though, because Alex is the top of the top now, and you can't beat him.
But nobody can beat him. It's not just Yuri.
Yes, Izzy beat him.
I was just saying,
Izzy beat him.
Alex.
Izzy beat him at 185 one time.
Don't matter. Izzy knocked him out.
Okay, but if you look at the amount of times they faced off in combat sports,
exactly, and Alex is clearly ahead of him. 100% agree.
No, MMA Pickers brings up a good point.
But
it's like
the one person that did beat him goes to an MMA gym, so Yuri need to get his ass in an MMA gym if he think he's gonna beat Alex.
No,
because he fought him twice.
But that's
with
the thing is that he does train at an MMA gym too. It's not like what we see is all the training he's doing.
Wait, do you think Alex Pereira beat Yuri Prochazka because he trains at an MMA gym?
No, I think Alex is another level, and I think Yuri needs to be around other people to up his game and his skill level and the stuff that he has, and it sharpen his tools some more so that he could be at Alex's level. But him being in this like solo like samurai Ronin bullshit is not gonna fucking be Alex Pereira. I'm sorry. It looks fucking cool. I'm a big fan of karate, all styles, all that shit, kung fu. I love all that shit. But when it comes to Alex Pereira, you're gonna need a lot more than that. And that involves you going to these gyms and being around the rest of the dogs and starting to be around people that actually fought him and be in these MMA gyms and doing all of this shit the regular way the rest of the UFC guys do. Because I don't know not one person at the top that just be training by themselves. Not one.
Yeah, it's nothing against those arts because, like, for example, combat sambo, one of the most well-rounded martial arts ever. Any combat sambo artist that wants to be successful in MMA needs to go to an MMA gym, and he is training and Yuri is training at an MMA gym. I guarantee you that he spends more time in the gym than what he shows.
Yeah, I agree that too.
The question is has he reached his limit? Is he now the top guy?
That's what I think. That's what I'm saying. Is the gyms that where he is, he needs to go. He needs to come here. Yeah. He's got to come here. Canada too. Like he like that cold shit. Okay, cool. Go to fucking Canada. They got some good people up there too. Like it's okay. If you like real cold, go to Russia. The motherfuckers is dominating right now. Go over there and learn some wrestling too. You know what I'm saying? You're already good at that. You'll be even better. And then you got some guys to strike with. It's a few guys over there not a strike, right? But where he is, I don't know exactly. Where does he train out of? Pickers. He's like in his hometown, right? Where he trains out of? Let me see. I think he does, but I'm not for sure.
Yeah. Was also the issue with like Ronda Rousey, for example. It's not like she didn't have good coaches. I mean, her striking coach. It's He's a decent boxer.
In there,
He's a decent boxer. He's a decent
Hey,
boxer.
look, you got,
But
you got.
she needed a real MMA gym to really
Yeah,
push him.
he trains at Jet Som Gym in Brno, Czech Republic. Like, bro, it's nobody out there. Like, you gotta fucking leave, bro. You gotta leave. It might be some dogs, it might be some good guys that you could spar with here and there, but to really elevate yourself and to be around guys that are gonna do moves at that top level so that you could start learning defenses and all of this other shit and like deepening your bag, you're gonna have to move around. The best people are the ones who move around from gym to gyms when they travel, and they're going to gyms and they're working with other guys and they're learning. That's what Makako's doing. That's what a lot of guys are doing. A lot of the big champions in the world and everything. So that's all I'm gonna say. You're getting a fucking gym outside of Czech Republic. I love you. You're a great fighter. I think you could get back to that belt. I think Alex is gonna move on, but I think if he wants to, one, first you got to beat Jamal Hill, and two, you're gonna have to step it up, because if he doesn't beat Jamal Hill, then we know for sure he needs to get in a fucking regular gym over here somewhere. He needs to go to, or a different coach. Like you need to elevate your coaching. But all right, 15 minutes. We got Arturo Vergara coming on, but I'm gonna let Mal go. Mal, we appreciate you. We'll let you go. Take care of your stuff today. Always a pleasure having you on the show. That's Mallory Woods. Follow him on everything, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. That's my guy. Love him. We'll see you next week, brother. Well, what we have next week? We'll figure out next week. We might have a show next week. It's a tricky one. Yeah, next week is actually, yeah. I don't think we'll have a show next week. Maybe next Thursday. But yeah, appreciate you, brother. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you in a bit. Now, we got my boy Pickers, and he's got a new segment for y'all. So I don't know if it's a little bit shorter. 15 minutes good for you?
Oh yeah, that's plenty.
Plenty? All right, cool. So we're going to take a quick break real quick. We're going to let Pickers hook y'all up with some bets if you've been sticking around for a minute. Also, I'm going to drop this back at the bottom for the people who just got here. Karate Combat Redeem section. Go ahead and put in Big 20. That's for our 20th episode. Shout out 20 episodes we've been doing this. Shout out my cast for helping me out, my co-hosts. They're amazing. And Pickers for 20 weeks has been giving y'all bets, minus the little MMA drop that we had. But for 20 weeks has been giving y'all bets every week. Now, last week was rough, but that wasn't our fault. It was just rough all around the board. It was a lot of crazy shit happening last week. So we're just gonna act like last week didn't happen. It was the first week back, kind of rusty. You know, when you get that first game of pickup.
First card of the new year. Let's go.
Yeah. What the fuck was that last week? We don't even know. Yeah. But we're gonna kill it this week. I got a big thing. We really do really well on pay-per-views. I think the UFC Vegas ones and stuff is the ones that we're kind of like, one, but he does really good on these pay-per-views. So we're gonna get into it. MMA Pickers picks of the week, and he got a new segment for y'all, and I'll let him explain it to y'all.
Absolutely. So up until now, I've been running through the card fight by fight with you guys, giving you my individual breakdowns. I'm still going to be doing that, but I did actually get a couple messages on X, a couple people requesting parlays. I do put parlays out on some of my other platforms, but I'm going to start putting them out here as well. So I'm going to give you guys one or two like pretty good parlays that you can double up on, and then I'm going to call it my money play of the week, where it's a lower profit but a much higher chance of success. So we're going to try to use hedges to our advantage and small parlays to try to give ourselves the best odds and the highest probabilities possible, while also covering ourselves if something crazy happens. All right. So with that, I'm going to go straight into the card. First fight's pretty straightforward. It's Tagir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter. Tagir Ulanbekov fights out of Khabib's camp. He's had a pretty good UFC run so far. He's definitely not the best fighter out of Team Khabib. He's probably one of the weaker links, but being one of the weaker links on Team Khabib is still quite a feather in your cap. Good thing to put on your resume. So at minus 325 on the money line, I like him as a parlay booster. He should be good for a decision at minus 120, but he does have a pretty nasty guillotine and pretty good submission instincts. He's also very good at getting submissions from defensive positions, unlike a lot of other wrestlers. So that plus 330 prop on submission might not be a bad long shot to sprinkle. But all in all, I'll probably be using him as a safer parlay booster and combine him with some other plays. And he'll be in some of our parlays later. And next fight is Ricky Turcois versus Bernardo Sopage. Sopage is a big favorite. I think he should be good to pull out a decision. Ricky Turcos, though, he does have decent striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He did put up on a good show against Raul Rosas Jr. before he didn't, let's just say. I think as a parlay booster, I like the over 2.5 on this fight at minus 210. or again a parlay booster, Sopaj at minus 245. But all in all, these are two younger guys. Not a lot of data available on them. I don't think the odds are super accurate, except for one or two parlay pieces. I probably won't really touch this fight too much. Next fight's a really fun one. We have Rinya Nakamura versus Mulin Gafarov. Rinya Nakamura is obviously a very highly touted prospect coming off of road to UFC. Unbelievable striking, very well-rounded fighter, very accurate striker. He's a sniper, gets a lot of takedowns, has very good wrestling, and he's just all about precision, technique, and he's also got really, really high-level athleticism. It's a dangerous combination. I think he has the potential to go very far in the UFC. Gafarov, on the other hand, uh, not quite to the level of Rinya Nakamura, in my opinion. He's a good prospect too. He's got decent wrestling, but he's just a lot more sloppy. He misses a lot of takedown attempts because he doesn't set them up properly. His striking isn't very defensively responsible. I don't think he's going to be quite as conditioned as Nakamura coming into this fight. And all in all, he does have quite a bit more experience than Nakamura, which might work in his favor. But outside of that, I just think Nakamura brings a better skill set pretty much all around to the table. This is an easy win for Nakamura. And a minus 600 line with so many things that can happen, though. I don't like this fight from a betting perspective. I would say just disregard it. I don't like the over because, honestly, Nakamura can get a finish here pretty easily. I certainly won't be touching Nakamura at minus 600. And there's just not enough. We don't know how Nakamura is going to fare in the UFC to be able to predict a method. Next fight, we're going to go Carol Rosa versus Eileen Perez. Carol Rosa's on an absolute heater, but we love the goat shit over here on the show, so we're going to take maybe what is a slightly biased pick on Eileen Perez. I'm going to go with a long shot. Tail this at your own risk. Eileen Perez is now sitting at a plus 1,400 for the submission. Her last fight, I think the over 2.5 was also like a minus 300. She keeps busting my overs, and she keeps getting subs in the UFC. And yeah, Carol Rosa's a dog, and this is probably not the brightest bet I've ever made. But let's call the pick Eileen Perez to win by submission at minus 1,400. Let's cash in big. We hit that. That makes up for the entirety of last week. All right. Next, we got Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira. The most likely outcome in this fight, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Diego Ferreira by KO, Diego Ferreira is a live dog, and while Diego Ferreira is very good, the wrestling and the grappling and the wet blanket smothering style of Grant Dawson is truly next level. We saw one time where he got knocked out in 30 seconds by Bobby Green, but other than that, he has basically snuggled every single opponent he's had successfully, and very decisively. He's very good with the ground and pound. He keeps things exciting. He's not a big submission guy. I don't really see a submission happening here. Diego Ferreira might even have better jiu-jitsu, potentially. I'm not even sure. But I'm going to say a KO or a decision double chance is probably the most likely outcome. And that's going to get you at about a minus 225. At that point, you might as well just take the money line on Grant Dawson, use it as a parlay booster at minus 245. I think that's a strong parlay piece to put in there. Next fight is Zach Reese versus Azamat Belkov. Zach Reese is a prospect that was coming off hot the Dana White Contender Series. I don't know if you guys remember, probably about a few months ago, he fought, and we made a lot of money on Zach Reese by decision at plus 800. This guy's a big, strong, tall, good striking, creative grappling. It's like 6'4", 6'5", very long reach, very, very big for the division. And he can actually fight from both stances, which means he's very good at setting up strikes, specifically body kicks. He's got really nasty body kicks. Not too familiar with his opponent. I believe he's making his UFC debut here. I did watch a little bit of tape on him. He does have a wrestling approach, but he also doesn't really set it up so well. He just kind of tries to bull rush people into the cage and then shoot the legs. He's a little bit sloppy. He striking also not very technical. He likes to brawl, but he is a big, physically imposing guy. Um, Once he does get the wrestling going, he's very, very strong there. This one's a hard one to call. Zach Reese is sitting at the underdog slot, and I'm not as educated on his opponent as I am on most of these fighters. But I like what I've seen from Zach Reese so far, so I'm just going to make the underdog call for Zach Reese at plus 170. I think he has a lot of ways to get this done. I think if he can defend against the grappling, which he has shown his own strong grappling in the past, he will have a pretty big advantage both in the striking department and just pure reach. So let's take him at that plus 170 odd. I think that's pretty healthy. Next, we got Jalton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. And I'm really conflicted on this one, too. I kind of want to take the long shot on Spivak, but I do like Jalton to win. I think the play here is going to be to use Jalton as a parlay piece at minus 455, because or you can really do the double decision too. I mean, he could get a knockout from Mount. Honestly, I think you just use him as a parlay piece, and then you do a small sprinkle on Sergey Spivak by submission, which is going to be 20-1 odds. Because I do think the one way that I could see Jalton losing this fight with wrestlers, they tend to put their heads to the side in the pocket, like under the armpit, and end up in guillotines. They tend to give up their backs, and grappling exchanges give rear naked chokes. We just recently saw in Tybura versus Spivak hit a beautiful armbar off of his back. I think the biggest chance that Jalton has of losing this fight is Spivak's submission game. So even if we lose a parlay on Jalton, if we have a sprinkle on Spivak at 20-1, that's a good cover. So I'm going to say we hedge on Spivak by submission, and we work Jalton into some of our parlays for a parlay piece. Moving on, we got Peyton Talbot versus Ronnie Barcelos. I'm just going to make this one really clear cut. I'm going to be betting Peyton Talbot by KO. I believe it's at minus 180, minus 170 right now, looks like on this platform. Peyton Talbot's been a world beater in the UFC. Barcelos is good, but he has a very poor striking defense. He's been knocked out a bunch. I think this is a Sean O'Malley gimme style fight for Talbot. He's shown very dynamic striking. He's clearly got the power. His last fight was a sub 1 minute knockout. I think that continues. Maybe not a sub 1 minute knockout, but I think we see a knockout from Peyton Talbot. And Peyton Talbot, I think we see him in the rankings very soon. He's growing in popularity, and he's putting on excellent performances after excellent performance. All right, we're getting to the featured main event. This was supposed to be a fight with Johnny Walker, but we have Bogan Guskov, and he's fighting a last-minute replacement, Billy Elikana. There's not a lot of meat on the bone here. Don't know a lot about Billy Elikana. It was a last-minute replacement. But I know Bogan Guskov is very good. He's on the come-up. He's been showing a lot of very high-level skills. I think this is an easy, short-notice fight for him. I see two options here with the betting. You can take the minus 380 and use it as a parlay piece, or you can take Bogan by KO. It's at about a minus 175 if you want to amp things up. That is by far the most likely outcome here. He will be looking for the knockout, and if the fight goes to the ground, he will be looking to do damage and hold position over anything else. Next fight is very interesting. This one's extremely controversial. And before I give my picks, I'm just going to say this fight is probably completely 50-50. So this is the best value that I've found in the fight. But just understand there's two things that are extremely likely to happen in this fight. Rainer de Ridder has a 44% striking defense, and Kevin Holland has one of the worst takedown defenses in the entire middleweight division in the UFC. Rainer de Ridder, for those of you who are not familiar, is the former two-weight champion at ONE FC. He came over to the UFC. He fought Gerald Meerschaert, who was the UFC middleweight leader in total submissions, and he choked him out after taking him down a few times over 3 rounds. I do believe, even though Kevin Holland is an accomplished grappler himself, Travis Lutman said he's the best black belt he's ever worked with, and we've seen him get submissions. Even recently, when he fought Michael Olenjachuk, he got that beautiful armbar on the ground. I do think if it goes to the ground, Rainer de Ridder will be too much for him. And although if it stays on the feet, Rainer de Ridder is probably getting knocked out, I do believe in Rainer de Ridder's ability to get this to the ground. And I'm going to go with Rainer de Ridder by submission at plus 330 and Rainer de Ridder on the money line. And it's about even money right now. It's a pick-up money line. Last I checked, it was at a plus 108. But we're going to go with Rainer de Ridder as the official pick. But don't come back crying to me if Kevin Holland knocks him out, because you've been warned. All right, next one up. We're getting our way down the main card right now. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I don't know if you guys have been following the press conference beef around this one, but I just want to share a beautiful quote from Renato Moicano. Hey guys, and you can look at the age category for this one. Don't call this guy Beneil old and washed up, because that means I'm old and washed up because we're the same age. That being said, I'm going to beat the blank out of that old man. I do think Renato Moicano is going to beat the blank out of that old man. Renato Moicano has been looking like a world beater lately. He was massively impressive against BSD, and he's been the underdog in his last few fights. And no matter who you put him against, he just seems to turn into a world beater. One thing that really impressed me about his fight with Benoit Saint Denis is his striking looks like it's really come a long way. His body kick was landing. He was really working his boxing. His 1-2 specifically looked very crisp down the pipe. And his takedown game, his wrestling also. His takedown ability off catch kicks looks to be elite. Looks like he was drilling that a lot going into the fight. He shot a very nice double leg as well. So it's always encouraging when you see a jiu-jitsu specialist who's starting to, well, not starting, obviously. This is an elite grappler, but who's continuously improving that wrestling game, that takedown game, that top control game, just makes him all the more dangerous. Beneil Dariush, though, of course, is a top level in no-gi himself. He has the most top control time logged in the lightweight division. And listen, if we get the Beneil Dariush we got in the last two fights, it's going to be easy work for Moicano. If we get the Beneil Dariush from 3, 4, 5 fights ago, this is going to be a phenomenal fight. This is a grappler's delight. This is a banger matchup. Definitely tune in for it. The official pick is going to be Renato Moicano on the money line. DraftKings is showing a minus 162. You could take him by the finish, but it's risky. I'm just going to go Renato Moicano on the money line. I think the odds are plenty generous on that. Next fight up, we're right before the co-main and the main. This is the third to last fight of the night. This is one of the most anticipated fights on the card. The people's hero, Yuri Prochazka, versus maybe, potentially, one of the most hated men in the UFC right now, Jamal Hill. And you got to love it at the press conference. Every time they handed him the mic, you could barely even hear him. But he seems to be feeding off of that energy. Guys, this fight's a complete pick'em. There's really no good insight that I can give on this fight. Both of these guys knocked out the whole freaking UFC on their way to the top. Both of them got slept by Alex Pereira. And both of them are here now. I think it's more fun to bet on Yuri, so I'm going to be betting on Yuri. I'm not going to be putting this fight in my parlays. I'm not going to be taking an over and under. This could be a 3-round war. This could be a first-round knockout. So many different things can happen in this fight. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole with your money, unless you just want to have an entertaining watch and put $10 on your favorite guy. But there's really no value here. This is just a crazy, chaotic fight where anything could happen. I hope Yuri wins. I'll probably throw $10 on him just for fun. But there's just not a lot of meat on the bone here for anything. Next fight up is Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. So I'll start this off by saying I do think Umar is going to get the win. That's my official prediction. As far as betting lines go, the betting lines are massively disrespectful to Merab. Merab's on a 12-fight win streak. Merab has shown unbelievable wrestling, shot over 50 takedowns over Piotr Jan, drug Henry Cejudo across the cage. I know Apollo likes bringing that one up. I mean, this guy is elite as they get. Obviously, the Dagestani effect is in play here as far as the betting odds go. But that being said, for a straight bet, I'm probably going to use Umar as a parlay piece and a sprinkle, just a sprinkle, on Merab by decision, but we'll get more into that later. Final event of the night, we have Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. Got to go with the number one pound-for-pound guy. I don't know if he's going to get a finish or a decision. I'm undecided on that. So it'll probably also be a parlay piece. But I think Islam continues his reign. I think he's a step above everybody else in the division. He's also a lot larger than Arman. I think he's the better grappler. He's probably the better striker. I just don't even know if there's a specific area where Arman beats him. Maybe Arman's crazy flexible. That's about it. But I think Islam has so many advantages in this fight. to me, it just seems obvious. But it always seems obvious before the fight happens. So you might just see me here afterwards next week going like this, not looking at the camera. But right now, the pick is Islam. So you guys have been asking for some parlays. I put together some basic parlays that had decent 2-1 odds with some. I'm not going to call them locks, but more safe fights where the outcome is a little bit more predictable. And then I'm going to go over a 2-leg parlay with a hedge. It's a bit of a smaller profit, but I myself am going to put a sizable bet on it. I see it as a very safe play. So a couple, and I'll give you guys some dog picks too that we didn't go over. So just two nice easy parlays. Renato Moicano on the money line, parlayed with Tagir on the money line. That's going to pay out plus 109. I like both of their chances to win quite a bit. We have Grant Dawson on the money line, parlayed with Peyton Talbot by KO. That's also plus money at plus 116. And then we already talked about Eileen Perez at plus 205. That's a good dog pick. Zach Reese is our other dog pick. And the new pick that I'll be putting out, and this is going to include the hedge that you're going to make beforehand. Usually on this channel, we hedge live in the Discord, but this is going to have a hedge before you go in. You're going to parlay Umar Nurmagomedov with Islam Makhachev, and that's going to pay out about a minus 125, minus 130. And you're going to hedge that with Merab by decision at a plus 350. So the only way to lose that bet is if Merab gets a finish, which pretty much virtually never happens, or if Arman beats Islam. As long as one of those two things don't happen, you will profit, let's say on a $100 bet and then a $25 bet on the hedge, you're profiting about $50-$60. And if the hedge hits, if Merab wins the decision, which is probably the most likely way that parlay busts, you still recover about 115 out of that 120. So that'll be my money play of the week. I'll try to give you guys one of those very safe plays where we cover as many outcomes as possible while still staying net positive. And I hope everybody eats. Good luck. I can't hear you.
Mute us. Yeah, there we go. Hope everybody eat, baby. You got to make sure the people eat. Now, what I am going to do, though, speaking of people eating, this man be eating all year, and he is our second guest of today. Also has not only the record for the most fights this year, he also has the record for the most appearances on the Warriors Voice. This is one of our good friends, our guy, and now the first time as the champion of the world, bantamweight champion of the world on the Warriors Voice. My guy, Arturo Macaco Flow, Vergara. Let's go.
What's up, my guys? How's everything? Yo,
Everything's
sorry
great, man.
for the delay. Like yesterday, we were recording like till fucking late, so that's why now I'm kind of like I fucked up with the time.
Nah, you good, brother. We know you're out. We know you're out in LA. Aileen's got a fight. We actually just talking about her. He was talking about taking her for a submission win. I also like that. I did take a parlay with Aileen for submission. But also, how you feeling about her fight, man? Let's talk about that real quick. You're in LA right now. You helping out Aileen. I see you with Unbroken Roy, who's the champ over at APFC. There he is. The other champ right there, my guy. Right. Y'all out there helping out Aileen. How she feeling? How we going into this? And what do you think about the card?
Bro, the first of all, that was crazy because Sarukian is out, Arman is out, so that's the
What?
first. Arman is out. Yeah, I
I
think
saw that
something
on
with
Twitter. I
his
wasn't sure if
back.
it was a rumor. Where did you see
Uh,
that?
Just Twitter, go look up. It's a lot of news.
Wow.
He's out of the fight.
Oh
He's
my
out of the
god.
fight. I think what
Wow.
the thing is back spasm, something like that. So he's fucked.
Oh, call
Yeah.
Alex
So
Pereira.
for real. My man said
Wow.
Pereira. No.
Dang, dude.
So he's
Oh
fucked.
yeah.
Or Volkanovski.
Holy
Um.
gosh! It's official as of 4 minutes ago. That's crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. I just put in a fucking bet like 7 minutes ago with Islam in it. That sucks ass.
Do that. Magash and
Damn.
Moicano, man, that's crazy, man.
Morcano's out too?
No, Moicano is against Makashi.
Okay. Oh, he's gonna fight Islam now?
Yeah.
Yep. Dana White just posted it.
What? Holy shit. Money Moicano versus Islam? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Ugh, that's rough for Money Moicano. That's rough. But how you feeling about Aileen? How's Aileen looking? How she
Well,
this a tough fight for her,
um,
but I feel like the last one was tough and she still got it done, bro. Like,
yeah, no, I think she's looking super good. She's looking healthy. She did a good weight cut. Not easy as all the weight cuts, Nobody has a easy weight cut, I think. But she looked good. She looked ready. If you ask me, I think it's gonna be fair round TKO.
third round TKO?
First.
First round? Ooh, I took a sub, but that don't matter no more because this is done because Islam is not fighting Arman yet, so,
Yeah.
Arman anymore. But I took her for sub. I was thinking TKO too, so I'm gonna take one with her with sub, and I'm gonna take one with her with TKO. I learned about not betting on like staying away from Ghost Shed fighters because I don't want to bet and they fighting somebody or fading a Ghost Shed fighter. I've learned my lesson. Trust me. I've lost enough. But speaking of fading Ghost Shed fighters, you got a teammate. He's gonna be fighting coming up soon.
Yeah.
Shazib, he's fighting. Actually, we had his opponent earlier in the show. He came on. He's fighting him come up. He said basically saying that he's more well-rounded than the rest of the guys like Roca and rest of them because he's actually done MMA and stuff like that. How do you feel about Shazib's chances with Edgar Skrivers versus like a Luis Roca who
Let me
did
tell you
some
something.
MMA, but
This
go ahead.
guy is not ready for Shazay. This guy is not ready for Shazay at all. Shazay gonna destroy him. I think after to won the title, Shazay make a jump. He look amazing, bro. He look sharp. He look healthy. I never
Yeah.
seen Shazay before, like training like that, like fighting like that. That's scary, dude. Now this is fucking scary, dude. For real.
Mhm.
Even I would put all my fucking karate tokens. I have like I think 1 million of karate tokens. I would put it all in Shasei because
Yeah.
I know he's gonna make this look effortless. That's how everybody in Gosha we do.
Yeah.
Everybody think that we are
100%.
playing, but we are not playing. We are training all day long. We
Yeah.
are living in the gym. So I watched a couple of fights with Skriver, but he don't surprise me. He didn't surprise me. I think Shasei gonna beat him easy, for real.
Yeah. I agree. Shazam does look different. He does look like he's leveled up a bit. It looked like he's like Goku, bro. He's like right at that. He's like right at that Super Saiyan God level where he first hit it. He's not quite natural instinct yet, but you can tell every fight he's elevating. I was in the gym with y'all when y'all were training, and I was just watching y'all. I was watching everybody. You, Gus,
Yeah.
Arturo. I mean Arturo. You are Arturo. I was watching all of y'all locks be right, and I seen like I could see elevation in all of y'all striking from the first time I came and watched y'all a year ago, right? So it's good to see y'all all working hard. Mac, MMA pickers, y'all got any questions for Arturo?
Yeah, go ahead, Mac.
No, you
Yeah,
can
I
go
just
first.
this is actually a question I meant to ask you last time we had on. I know obviously you're coming off of an incredible performance in Miami. Congratulations, by the way. But I wanted to know for your fight in Utah. You went 3 hard rounds with that guy. That was at elevation. I remember I tried to take a hike that day and I almost passed out.
I answer you 1 second. Give me just 1 second. I got you. But I get
No
the
problem.
question. Give me 1 second.
It's all good.
Speaking about Eileen, is she on the undercard again?
No, she made main card this time. Peyton
Oh,
Talbot
good.
is the end of the early prelims. No, actually,
She's
no, she is. She's
early
prelim.
prelims.
She's early.
Early prelims, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
surprising because
it's not. It's women.
she's on a 4-fight winning streak.
It's
She's one of
women.
the more marketable fighters.
Definitely
in the
more
women.
division.
marketable, that's for sure.
Definitely more marketable, but it's women. It's simple fact that it's women's MMA, and they just had like a women's main event last week.
I'm back. Okay, now yeah.
Dana understands how he has to
Yeah,
balance things out.
and it's nothing against women. It's just the fact that it's there's so few women in the sport that like the upper level is still
Oh
very
yeah,
like bare.
it's some very entertaining women in the sport. Is all majority of them are at the top level. So the ones that are coming up, it's harder to see them on these main cards and stuff like that. But Aileen is somebody who's gonna end up on them. That's like Payne Talbot too. Payne Talbot's Payne Talbot's not on the main card. So if we're talking about up and coming people like on the strings of wins, right? If he's not on there, I can understand why they didn't put Aileen up there as well. But it's good to hear.
Outside out of the UFC fighters from Goat Shed right now, I'd say Eileen and Jillian are probably the closest to getting
Oh,
it.
100%. 100%. 100%. And then y'all gotta watch it for Montez. Like everybody, Jay Duran's fiance, boyfriend, whatever. Like he's a beast. I can't wait to see him getting some work out there too as well. But
And also this guy that's going to be on our grappling in the pit submission series. He's now working
Richie
at Goat
James,
Shed.
right? Is Richie part of Ghost Shed now? Is he like on the team?
Richie Lewis, yeah, Richie Lewis,
Yeah, Richie Lewis. I
yeah.
said James. What I'm thinking of
Yeah,
basketball and football.
Richard Lewis.
My brain everywhere. So how you liking the West Coast? What you like the most about the West Coast?
Bro, I just went into one restaurant in front of the street and that's it all day long in the hotel. I didn't feel anything for real. Like it
Yeah.
was straight work all day.
What
But
about
yeah, bro.
Vegas? You was just in Vegas.
No, Vegas was amazing. What Vegas was
Yeah.
amazing. Ki was amazing. Performance this season was like it's a
Top
dream.
tier. Yeah, I
Being
love it. Yeah,
there,
it's
like
top tier.
it's a
Just
dream.
walking up the stairs when you first get there and you walk past all of the champions and they have all of them on the side. And if you walk through the other part where like the apex is, they have all of the ultimate fighter things on the wall. It's insane. When you walk in there, you kind of feel all of that shit that you watch
Different.
all of those years. Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. I
Yeah.
felt it too. And I did the tour before Forrest Griffin. So that shit was dope when the first time I actually went. It was like the first time I ever went. But
Yeah, that was
USCPI is great. It's good that you're there too because they have so much equipment that other people don't even know. Like they have insane, like they have shit in there that Forrest Griffin was telling me. I'm like, bro, how do you even know about this shit? Like these
everything.
words, big as shit. Love it, bro.
Yeah, I love that place. I love like PI. How they treat the athletes is crazy. It's crazy. Like
Oh yeah.
different.
Food, everything. Yeah, you could get shakes. If you work out at the PI when you're leaving, you can get like free shakes and shit like that or whatever. And like they hook you up and shit. Yeah, food is Dana treats them right. And that's a smart thing to do though. Once you do have the money and you're able to build stuff out like that for the fighters, you give them the best opportunity to be able to be the best athlete for you, right? It's the same thing with like the football teams and they buy good facilities so that their players get better. They want the UFC fighters to get better too, and they open it up for the other fighters to come and work at the PIs. It's not exclusively for UFC. All of the guys go work at the PI in Vegas. I've been there multiple times.
100%. Yo,
Yeah.
let me get back with my guy with your question. So I don't let you hang out right ahead. So you were asking for these guys afar, right? For the fight in Utah.
Yeah, I wanted to know. You put in 3 really hard rounds or 5 really hard rounds, excuse me. And I know the elevation there was crazy. Was there anything special you did to prepare for that?
Um, well, the guy at one point like doesn't surprise me, but yeah, at the same time he surprised me like to be and tough, you know. But I went to Utah like 2 weeks and a half before, and that helped me a lot. I went into the mountains to run. I did a lot of cardio, and I get my conditioning super good. But I think my condition is good. I think that's one of my biggest strengths. So my cardio, my conditioning always is good. But yeah, I went smart in that one, and I went to Utah like a couple of weeks before because I need to get used to the elevation. You know, that's the only thing different I did. But yeah, besides that, nothing.
Oh yeah, it seemed like it worked well.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
whatever
cardio
you
looked
doing is
amazing
working.
that night. Um,
Yeah, and
you're
his next fight, if it's in
Yeah,
February.
Yeah,
February,
February
February
28th,
20th.
Denver,
Yeah,
Colorado.
Yeah, so that's going to be at
Yeah.
elevation
yeah,
too, right?
Denver, back to back.
Sorry for
you gonna
cutting
head
you
out
off.
there early too?
You know, you already know. Yeah, I'm going early. I'm going early, my brother. for
My
sure.
Very
man.
nice.
Yeah, I won't give him like no chance, no chance at all. Zero chance, zero.
Oof.
I'm the
Hey, well,
champ. I will defend my belt as much as I can, and I will show everybody like I will be the most dominant champ, the best performance, the most performance champ, like everything. I'm here to defend my belt as much as I can this year. Even I'm trying to fight like 4 times this year defending my belt. Like I'm still the same, you know. For me, nothing changed. It's not like oh now I'm the champ and I'm picking up my fight. No, fuck that. I'm here to fight, you know. I'm here to make
yeah.
my money. I'm here to fight, and I'm here to put my name around the world.
That's how you fucking do it, brother. Take everything you can. Be smart about it. Always take your health into consideration and stuff like that, injuries and things of
Yeah,
that sort. But be a dog. That's how the best do it, man. The best on high. I mean, we all love Floyd Mayweather, but we know towards the end of his career, he was real picky, choosy with who he wanted to fight. And I think some of the fans felt a little disserviced from that, right? So you calling yourself the people's champ, the crypto champ, the
the
champ of
champ.
Chile, you know what I'm saying? It fits that you want to fight very often and be active. I'd love to see you fight 4 times this year. Shit, if you could break the record again this year and get a couple first round knockouts so you could fight again the next month, I'd love to see it too, man. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
So
And he's actually has the privilege of being in one of the most stacked
so
divisions.
many
So
people to fight.
he actually has that ability to fight so often because there's just so many contenders
Yep,
coming up.
100%, man, 100%. I think it also opens up. I think because now that they kind of have like a solidification and that he wants to fight, it'll open up doors for some of those guys to start coming up as well in the ranks and
Yeah.
get some fights at him. Um, anything new you got going on that you want to tell the people about? I know you don't got that much time because y'all got stuff going on with UFC 311.
Not well, no. Being here in UFC is amazing. Like for real, like
Yeah,
change like training camp, helping Eileen, or being here with my coach and my guys. You know, Roy is here too, so it's good though. It's amazing to be here and meet another places, another gym, um, like a team. You know, that's the most important because being by yourself it sucks. You
yeah,
don't have nobody like okay, what you gonna do? Hit the bag? That just sucks though. So being
yeah,
here with your team, like and training and meeting in another people and going to other places, I love that. And yeah, no, grateful for the opportunity to be in Las Vegas too, and the PI who I told you before it was amazing. Bro.
mhm,
Excited for this KC52. Excited
yeah,
for UFC 311 and KC52. I think those are amazing cars, are good fights. You know, we have our teammates in the cars. And I have no doubt, like both of them, they're gonna raise his hand up. Like first,
yeah,
like I've been in UFC after Shasay, and also well, Luxby too.
yeah. I'm about to
Luxby
say couch
fighting
potato.
KC52. So yeah, Coach Potato.
Mhm.
So
We gotta
Luxby
get him an
fighting,
outfit. We gotta get him one of those little the
right?
potato
That
like
that would
blow up
be
ones.
fire if
Yeah,
he
just
show
to
out with
come
that.
out in
Like
it one time.
yeah.
Love it, bro.
But excited for all the fights are coming and getting ready for my next fight. Also, I wanna be there in KC52 to like promoting.
Meet with the
Maybe
fans and stuff.
commentating one of the fights. Also, Alini Pereira's fighting, so that fight is coming.
Huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, huge. Big boy's back too. You got the
yeah, big boy.
Cubano assassin, your boy Robelis do Spain. Yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
back too. So it's gonna be a good card, man. I'm glad to see you enjoying the fruits of your labor, but also still getting in that work. We're super proud of you over here, and like I said, we believed in you. We knew that fight was what we felt like was a pickup. You was for sure that it was only gonna go one way, and you kind of proved us wrong. That you were the dominant one in that situation. No love lost to Owen. I don't think it's no stock lost to him as well because y'all both are amazing fighters. Um,
Actually brings up one of my
go
questions, if I
ahead.
yeah,
may.
Let's
of
end
course.
it
Of
off
course.
with that then. End
Uh,
it off with that. Go ahead.
uh, okay, I didn't know we didn't have a lot of time. Well, I just wanted to know real quick was when you were preparing to fight for Owen. I'd say the going in the big like question mark for me was like that clinch range of fighting because uh, Owen didn't show a lot. You hadn't shown a lot in there. When you guys were training together, did you ever see like a vulnerability with in the clinch range with him? Was it always the plan to really work the clinch fighting?
Um, wasn't something I saw like where we were training, wasn't like, oh, we are training and I saw his mistake, his whole like wasn't. I just watched his whole career, and I think like the big difference between me and the whole roster is like I'm a complete fighter. So doesn't matter what position of the fight we're going to fight, I will be ready. And I think like karate combat now is about that. Let me tell you something. I don't have nothing with the karate or any specific style. But for me, the best striking league now is karate combat, and it's because you need to be ready to strike in every single position. If
Mhm.
you're not if you are not able to strike it, or at least know how to stand up from the ground, or throw some hit or some punches or knees or elbows in the clinch or in like kind of weird position, you are not ready for this company. I'm really sorry, but you are not ready for this company because that's what happened. Oh, I'm the best fucking striker in the world. Okay, let's go. Let's show me. Let's go to the clinch. Okay, I'm the
Yeah.
best boxer in the world. Okay, let me give you a fucking low kick. Oh, I'm the best kicker in the world. Okay, let me grab your fucking kick and take you down and see if you can stand up from the ground. So
Yeah.
it, for me, I love striking. I've been doing a lot of, even my first martial art was karate after kung fu, and after I started with like when I was like 7 or 8 years old. But what time is passing and I realized like, bro, what for me like it's not a goal like just being like one-dimensional fighter, because
Yeah.
I'm lying to myself. I'm lying to myself like, yeah, maybe I'm super good kicking but I'm not good punching, or I'm not super good punching but I'm not good like defending taking downs and stuff like that. So I think this make everything more exciting, and it's making everything real, because also we have the wall. What happened when you go into the wall? I can
Yeah.
bet you even MMA fighters doesn't know how to stand up from the wall. I can.
No. What's the name just said it. I was just watching it. She just said it. Who was it? Shit. Who was it? Shit. They was
While you
they
think
were
of that, honestly, the person that's best at wall scrambles right now is one of your best friends, Jordan Barker.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah.
doing good workout. But
Yeah, because he actually built a pit wall,
yeah,
so
so,
using his
yo,
wrestling background, he's really
I
figuring
want to
out
see that
how
guy
to.
fighting again. I want to see that guy fighting again.
We gotta get the pizza box out his
They're
fucking
trying to get
hand.
him on your card,
Oh,
so maybe you guys can have that pizza
yeah, hell
contest
yeah,
after your
after the
fight.
fight.
Yeah, I want
Hell
parts of
yeah.
that. I think I could win. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the pizza
Oh, I'll
king, man.
smash you in that sport.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, listen, we from the Northeast. You know how we do pizza, baby. We love some pizza.
Mhm.
Hey, damn, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Jillian. I want to say it was Jillian. One of them was talking about the pit and was like fighting in the pit, and it was like once you get to that, it was like once you get to that wall. I'm thinking because like I fight UFC and everything's gonna be cool, and it was like once you get to that wall, it's a whole nother
No,
ball game.
bro.
Like this shit is no joke.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I love karate combat. It's like karate combat is a different sport. I'm telling you, it's not more
Yeah,
only the mental sport, because now getting to the wall and now how to defend the wall or now how to strike it in the wall is way different. Way different.
yeah, especially with adding elbows and knees and all of this other stuff.
And the way you can just change your momentum. Like honestly, I can't wait to see the macaco flow once you are able to have that full pit that the new goat shed's going to have. So because once you're able to
Good
really
technique.
play around with that, uh, uh, it's going to be amazing how you use those pit walls to just accentuate your flow with the changes of
Yeah.
momentum.
Yeah. Like,
Uh, with you in LA, are you thinking about reaching out to Damian Villa at all to train?
oh, I didn't know he's
Because
here.
I
I
know
didn't know
he.
he's here, but bro, I would love to reach somebody out, but we've been so busy, like with this first or today's or first day, like more like kind of. Thank you so much. With more time, like doing something different because we just been cutting weight in the hotel. training there, you know. And yesterday we went to a gym like for a couple hours, but that's it. But yeah, we'll be fire. I will try.
Yeah, he's in East LA, and he's in your weight class, and he's such a good coach for Taekwondo that even Luke Rockhold learned Taekwondo for him to add to his game in
That's
UFC.
fire. Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll see if we can get you a contact for him. I'll try to get a
Yeah, yeah,
contact from Mac and
yeah.
get it
Try
over
to.
to you.
No, I got very
Yeah.
good rapport. If you want to train with him, just hit me up, and I'll try to help you
Let's
set
set
it
that
up.
up,
Thank you,
man.
bro.
Well, look, man, we know you've been super busy, man. We're gonna let you
Yeah.
go. We appreciate you giving us some time
Sorry
during
for
breakfast.
taking a little bit of time.
You're
Okay, my
good, brother. You're good, brother. We know. Listen, I told you you was okay if you didn't have if you couldn't come. We appreciate you. You always give us the time. Like I said, you have the record of the most appearances on the Warrior Voice. You have the record for the most wins in a year. You're just a man of frequency. Like we see you a lot, so we not worried. We love you. We appreciate you always coming by, showing us love. Please be safe out in LA. LA's a little rough
Thank
at
you, guys.
times. You know what I'm saying? Throw some water on yourself so you don't get too hot from the fires, man. And pray for everybody in LA as well, man. But look, enjoy your day, Macaco. We're gonna let you go. Tell the team I said what up. Tell Aileen I said good luck. And I will be watching her on Saturday for sure.
Thank you, my guys. Don't miss the UFC 311 for nothing. I
Yes,
leave for
sir.
run. Yo.
Let's go.
See
All
you,
right,
man.
bye. See
Take
you
it
later.
easy. Thank you for having
All
me.
right.
Bye bye.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Dope, man. That's crazy, bro. We've had him on the show like what 4 times now?
He's the
We had
Warriors
him.
and champion.
Yeah. He's been on here since we weren't even on YouTube. He's a real OG. He's a real OG. We were still on playback.tv, which was a great thing, just not for the podcast. Was a great thing, just not for the podcast. But I'm gonna cut the episode at 2 today. I know it's been 2 hours. It's kind of unorthodox episode because we had Skrivers had to come on early because he had prayer and things of that sort. But two champs came through today, baby. One former and first. The first Chilean and current. Really good show. I think we had a lot of great conversations today. I really enjoyed the show. It's one of the more fun ones.
Definitely.
I think I'm a little less sedated today, so I had a little more energy than last week. Last week I was tired as fuck. Last week I was super tired, but a really good show. We didn't get to get through the breakdown stuff, but I also remember that the fight is Friday next week. So we're not going to be able to do the show Friday next week. So which means we have to do the show a different day anyways. So we'll figure something out. Maybe me and MMA pickers might have to sit down together and do it and then have Mac and them call in, which might be easy because I'm ordering these
That'd be
mics.
fun.
Yeah, that'd be. I got some mics coming in, so it'd be easy for us to do it too. So yeah, maybe we'll do it like that, and we'll just do a full breakdown show. We'll do our full breakdown show. I don't know if you guys have a betting show this week, but usually Nick and Mac and Mallory host a betting show. I was supposed to help them with it last time. If you guys want my help, I'm for sure. I'll sure hop on. But guys, check that out too. They do a betting show as well. Also, another reason why I have Mac and Mallory on this show is to you guys can see them and to know that they do other stuff as well, as well as MMA pickers with the outlet Discord and all the homies at the outlet with the stuff he does. Mac and Mal have their own show called the Karate Hour. And they also work with Nick, who's the odds maker for UFC and Karate Combat, with the betting show. So make sure you check all these guys out. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Names on. There you go. That is their names. This is everybody's names on Twitter. Give them guys a follow on Twitter. Mac puts out a lot of content about a whole bunch of combat sports stuff. MMA Pickers puts out bets when he wants to. We're gonna get him more on it. I'm gonna find him some kid to just post his bets all day. I'm like his pseudo manager. I just yell at him like, "Hey, bro!" It's really be me just wanting my picks in. I'm like, "You didn't put your picks in the Discord yet." He'd be like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm your fake manager," but really not. I just be wanting to get it in.
Hey, we always get them in before the fights at the very least.
That's a fact. That is a fact. At least I promise you this. They're
That's
always
why you
in at
gotta
least.
tune in here. They're always
Yeah.
here Friday at 12.
Exactly. See, what I do is I take the best from this and I take what you give me here and I create my own stuff and then I wait for you and then I create the ones you do. And that's why I always have like, you're like that one where I hit like for 1,500 or whatever. And then we were like different on the end. That was like one of the ones I did by myself. And I'm sorry, brother. I love you. I know that was a tough one. I was so mad when he was like, I'm the opposite way. I was like, fuck, one of us has to lose here. This isn't fair. But
No,
that's
good.
episode 20.
That got you to KC Nashville, if I remember correctly.
It did. That actually was my money for Salt Lake City, I think it was. Was it Salt Lake? One of them. It was Miami. It was the last Miami. That was my money for Miami. Yeah, I need to hit big this weekend too because I'm leaving next week and I'm broke as a joke. So yeah, we need to hit big this weekend. So if you're smart, take the bets from here. Also, go to the outlet Discord. Follow MMA Pickers on Twitter. You can find the outlet there. Follow Mac Tyson on Twitter. You can find the Karate Hour there as well. So his bio. Also, follow my man Mallory Woods. You can find him Mallory Woods on anything. It will pop up. Mallory Woods. He is the guy, man. Definitely one of the guys that's in the background in the scenes of karate that a lot of people don't know, but he's very influential and has been around a lot of stuff that's going on. So those are my gracious co-hosts, man. I love these guys. They've done 20 episodes with me. It's actually insane. Mallory hasn't been around for the whole 20, but these two have. These two have been here since day one, man, and I appreciate them so much. And I appreciate everybody who's watched since then. One more time before we leave, I'm going to throw up this caption as I go out. Use that big 20 in the redeem section of the Karate Combat app to get your free karate tokens. I don't know how much it is, but I'm pretty sure Fubar hooked it up this week because it is episode 20. But that's episode 20, man. I appreciate you guys. We love you. We will see you next week. Enjoy UFC 311. Karate Combat 52 will be next week, and we will have a breakdown show one of them days. I don't know. It's going to happen. I promise. I think.
Versus Moicano, man.
Goddamn. Who thought it was going to happen? All right. See you next week, guys. We love y'all. Deuces.